swear I tried, yeah. I swear I tried, yeah. I swear I tried, yeah. I keep trying, yeah. I try to live, yeah. I keep dying, yeah. I try to give them game, they don't need mine. I swear I tried, yeah.
News for nobody.
Starting this news with a gun story. Sorry, there's two gun stories today. The old racist man who shot a 16-year-old boy, Ralph Yarl.
Go follow the Instagram, News for Nobodies. That's news_for_nobodies.
In Missouri, he's still alive. Thank God, but 16-year-old boy, right? His name is Andrew Lester. And his grandson was on CNN. I was just reading this article going against his grandfather, confirming his racist tendencies. And he said he's coming out because he said it feels right, and I agree. Andrew Lester's an 84-year-old man, and he shot the kid for ringing his doorbell right through a glass window, it said. I think the craziest part is the kid gets shot. Then he goes into custody on a Thursday and is released on a Tuesday on $200,000. Crazy how money works. It should never work for me like that. So the kid fucking rings the doorbell. Boom. Gets blasted. Then he shoots him twice, right? And it wasn't even attempted murder. If you shoot twice, like one time it's like, okay, kid down is one. He shot him twice. And this is a 16-year-old boy, man. I got one of those.
Cause the seatbelt only works when the car starts. So if you crash, fuck it. You can't lose shit if you have nothing.
Talk a little sports here. Lighten up the mood. Bruins suck. No, I'm just kidding. But they do. They lost Game 7 to the Florida Panthers. A team who gave them trouble all year. And then when it mattered the most, gave them even more trouble. And the Bruins are now out of the playoffs. And the Celtics open a series up with Philadelphia. And if they play the way they played the Hawks, they're going to find themselves at home watching the rest of the playoffs. Jets fans all across the world are going nuts. Aaron Rodgers is walking around like the fucking sheriff of New York. And I think they have a solid chance, but sometimes when these teams do these big moves and it seems like it's going to work and everything's going to fit, sometimes it doesn't work. But he is Aaron Rodgers, so it should work. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones handed one of his scouts a tissue instead of the draft card because they were about to draft his son. Pretty awesome story. I like the part that he didn't do any work on his son, like as far as draft review or grades, and his son didn't really do any interviews with the Cowboys. They kind of stayed away from each other throughout the whole process, just hoping to give him a chance in the NFL on any team. But he's on the team with his dad, and it's a good story. You should check it out. The running back's name is Deuce Vaughn. He was picked in the 6th round with the 212th pick. And he went to Kansas State, and he had a freaking pretty good career. Yeah, he had a pretty good career. And they just let go of Ezekiel Elliott. And they have Tony Pollard for one more year. So, I mean, this kid, I was watching some of the highlights. He looks pretty good. This is not like, let's just draft him because he's the scout's son. Like, he's actually pretty good. The Cowboys got a good O-line. They always have a freaking good O-line. They just never win when it matters. Nah. And let's just touch on the Celtics. They're playing Philly. I'm hearing a lot of my Celtics buddies or some fans around saying we own Philly and we own Embiid. And I will say I watched Embiid play maybe a couple weeks ago. And, I mean, this guy was being a big baby. He was all over the floor. Everything hurt. Everything was a flop. Everything was a foul. And I hope that's not going to be the case when we play them. But it is. And I just don't want to see us lose to this soft-ass team. He is big. He's good. But sometimes he just looks big for nothing. And I feel like if the Celtics get through this series with the Bucks gone, not saying it's going to be easy, but we should make the finals. We should make the finals. And I think that's going to be determined in this series. Obviously, if we lose, we're out of the playoffs. But if we beat this team the way we're supposed to, the way on paper it looks, I mean, we should be fast track to the finals. Probably play the Warriors again. Or Denver, who scares me. What do you guys think? Let me know.
Wise words from a dumb fuck. Nuts swinging like nunchucks. Who want what? I crash out and do some dumb shit. Scream, kill them all, so I walk down anybody you run with.
And more sad news. I don't definitely want News for Nobody to be sad. If you look at the Instagram, it's mostly jokes. This is supposed to be fun, but these shootings are getting wildly out of control. A Texas man on the run after shooting his neighbors. Right, he allegedly shot his neighbors because it was getting a little late, you know, and he kept shooting his gun. And I mean, I'm sure that's a Texas thing, and it's his land, but I mean, just kind of have some common. At that point, it's just like courtesy. Just have some courtesy. His name's Fernando Oropeza, and allegedly killed 5 people, including a 9-year-old boy. And his weapon, of course, AR-15 style rifle. And there was other people in the house who were treated for injuries or unharmed. Yeah, it's crazy. The police are still looking for him. An $80,000 reward for assisting in catching the suspect. I mean, why we keep shooting each other? I understand the reason for having a gun, and I think people should have the right to have guns. But if you have a gun, there has to be some kind of responsibility. People can't just knock on your door and you shoot them. Oh, wrong house, asshole. You know, what the fuck? Or your neighbor asks you, you know, to do something and maybe you're bothering them and you walk over there and shoot them. And a kid, he's probably running because he shot the kid and he's like, fuck, I fucked up. You did fuck up. And you deserve to be in jail instead of the other guy. Shit is getting out of hand. I'm telling you, it's all raves, rainbows, and mass shootings. That's America right now. Good job, America.
Sometimes it's better to remain quiet and be thought a fool than it is to speak up and erase all doubt.
News for